Okay, good afternoon, everybody. As Shirley said, my name's Susie, and I'm the course coordinator of the BA&BED component of our double degree here in the Faculty of Education and the Faculty of Arts. Today's presentation, I'm going to give you a brief overview of some of the key features of our program, and then quite a substantial amount of our session is going to be the students' voices, allowing you some perspective from students' experiences of studying on our double degree. And then I'll also finish with some details of our admissions procedures. Because we only have 30 minutes, obviously, we can't cover everything. I strongly encourage you to have a look at our program website, where there's a lot of information about different aspects of our double degree program. Okay, one key feature of our double degree is that it allows our students a huge amount of choice and flexibility, allowing them to tailor the program to their specific interests. This is a key feature, particularly of the BA, where there's opportunities for students to study a wide range of aspects of linguistics, literature, and English language. Through the electives and the common core courses, students are also able to tailor the program towards their specific interests. We strongly encourage our students to take advantage of the flexibility of the program and to pursue new areas of interest for themselves. Another feature of the program is that there is an opportunity, if students wish, to specialize a little bit within these choices and declare a minor. Another key feature is that the program allows students to study areas in breadth, but also in depth. And in depth is a key feature of our professional core courses within the BA&BED component of the double degree program. Within the BA&BED, there is not so much flexibility for students, simply because it's essential that we ensure that students are fully prepared for teaching in the classroom. So within these courses, we provide in-depth exploration of a wide range of current issues related to language teaching and learning specifically, and then more generally to education as well. Key features of these courses is that we integrate theories with classroom practice. For example, we'll explore things like why might a primary student, for example, say I goed rather than I went? What does second language acquisition theories tell us about how languages are learned, and what are the implications of this for us as teachers? How do we read? And what are the implications of this for helping our students pass DSE exam, for example? Within this program as well, there's this component of the program. There's also an opportunity to undertake a dissertation. The professional practicum is a key component of the BA&BED component of the double degree. Within the professional practicums, students spend a total of 20 weeks teaching in primary and secondary schools, 10 weeks in a primary school in year 4, and another 10 weeks in a secondary school in year 5. Upon graduation, our students are qualified to register as both primary and secondary English language teachers with the EDB. During the professional practicum, students are provided with a school mentor who supports them, comes and observes them whilst they're teaching in the classroom, and university supervisors also visit the schools to provide guidance to the students. Within the Faculty of Education, what you can see on the screen is some photos of some of the tutors teaching the BA&BED courses. We're all experienced and very committed teacher educators. All of us have previous teaching experience, many of us within the Hong Kong context. Tutors are not just academics, they're also actively involved in the education community within Hong Kong, working on projects with schools, providing consultation to schools, and sitting on advisory committees with EDB and also with HKEA, for example. The tutors are also active researchers and integrate their research into their teaching as well. Hong Kong U Faculty of Education has a very strong reputation, not just in Hong Kong, but also internationally. It ranks number 5 on the Times Higher Education World University rankings as a faculty, and also 7th place as well within the QS World University rankings. Okay. One final thing that I'd like to mention about the learning experiences in our program is that we try very hard to build a very close learning community between our tutors, between colleagues, and with our students as well. So depending on the year of intake, within the BA&BED components, students study within classes of between 20 and 30 students. As teachers, we provide highly interactive and collaborative learning environments. This is our belief that this is how we learn, through interacting with others. We strongly believe as well that our students don't just learn from tutors, but they learn with and from each other as well. We strive to create a very supportive learning environment where we pay close attention to individual students' needs. We get to know our students on a personal and individual basis. Another key feature is that in the BA&BED courses, there's continuity of tutors across the years, across courses, and also across professional practicums. So the tutors who come and observe students during the professional practicum are tutors who have actually taught the students as well. I'd just like to mention briefly that there are 2 different routes into becoming a qualified English language teacher in Hong Kong. One of these is to undertake a relevant undergraduate qualification, such as a BA in language and linguistics, a 4-year undergraduate qualification, and then to do a 1-year full-time PGDE or 2-year part-time PGDE program. An alternative is to take a program like ours, a double degree, over 5 years. Okay, now I think there are both strengths and weaknesses to both of these options depending on the individual. I'd just like to highlight what I feel are some of the advantages of taking a double degree rather than a 4-year undergrad plus PGDE. One of these is that because you're studying your BA and your BA&BED concurrently at the same time, it allows you to integrate what you're learning on the BA&BED with what you're learning with on your BA courses. Another key difference is that in terms of professional practicum, on the double degree, you spend significantly longer teaching in schools, 20 weeks rather than 8 weeks of professional practicum on a PGDE program. The double degree program qualifies you to teach in both primary and secondary schools rather than just one. If you do a PGDE, you qualify to be either a primary or secondary teacher. Because it's a 5-year program, I think as well that a double degree allows you to go into, provides you with more choice and allows you to study in greater depth and breadth compared to on a 1-year PGDE. And importantly as well, having finished a double degree, you're ready to enter the profession. Okay, so this is an overview of our double degree program. I think the key thing for you to think about if you're considering this program is to think about, do you have an equal interest in studying a BA as well as a BA&BED? Because the amount of time you spend is similar on both programs. Okay, so as I said earlier, please do have a look at our program website for more information. Okay, so now I'm going to hand over to our students who are going to share some of their experiences of studying on our double degree. So we're going to start with students from year 2 and 3. So from year 2, we have Ronnie. Hi, Ronnie.
Hi.
Hi, and then also Crystal from year 3. Okay, so Ronnie, I remember interviewing you very, very, very clearly, and you came into our interview with excellent examination results, but also the one thing I remember was your conviction that this was the right program for you and that this is what you'd wanted to do for a long time. So I'd like you to share with us has the program met your expectations? What have your experiences been like so far?
Yes, thank you, Ms. Susie. So I'm Ronnie, and I want to share with you my personal experiences when transitioning from my secondary school to the university. So I remember back in my first year of study here, I was excited to know that the faculty offered great flexibility to students in selecting their courses and also subjects they want to major or minor in. As a BA and BEd student, we have ample free credits to declare a major or minor in any subjects to expand your current interests or to explore new academic fields to declare a major or minor. So for example, I'm double majoring in comparative literature and English language and linguistics. So if you are admitted to this program, you will have a lot of freedom to choose your courses. And apart from that, you will also learn a lot of interesting educational theories and pedagogical approaches in your education courses. For example, in the BBED 1101 course, I learned about the fundamental yet important qualities of a teacher and ways to cater to individual differences. I also had the chance to analyze current education issues using these theories when doing my group project. So if you're interested in education, you will find those courses very useful and fun. And I guess the main academic challenge for you all would be writing academic essays, as you're not familiar with the format and citation of sources. But you can rest assured that the faculty will offer you a lot of support when it comes to essay writing. For example, you will take a CES course, which teaches you the basic essay writing skills. And you can also join the writing clinics and workshops provided by the arts and education faculty. And you may also have concerns about studying literature courses at the university, since as BA and BA students, you can take literary courses to fulfill your major requirements. Some of you may think that if you have not studied English literature in your secondary schools, you may not be capable of doing literary studies. But as an English and comparative literature double major, I could tell you that whether you have a literary background or not does not really matter, since the introductory literary courses such as Introduction to Literary Theories or Ways of Reading that I took last year will afford you with the essential skills required for literary analysis. And aside from academic pursuit, I've also made new friends and enlarged my social circle, which was probably due to the small class size of the program. We only have approximately 30 people in a cohort, which fosters communication and discussions among students. And last year, I had lots of opportunities to chat and discuss ideas with my classmates, making us even closer to each other. So what do you think about the small class size, Crystal?
Well, same to you. I really find the small class size beneficial for us to build strong networks with fellow classmates and also for facilitating deeper academic communications. I am a mainland student, so when I first came to Hong Kong, I had a lot of worries. I didn't know a word of Cantonese at that time, and I needed to study and live alone in a new city where I haven't established any prior social connections and relationships. But later on, it turned out my concerns were unnecessary. So just as Ronnie mentioned, we have a very small class. So we get to know each other well and can quickly establish close relationships. I would say for a lot of the times, I feel very warm and touched by the supports from my friends and the classmates for their selfless help in my academic and personal life. And actually, on the first day you enter the program, you will be assigned with a student advisor and an academic advisor. So if you need any guidance or have any questions about your future study or just whatever things that happen in your life, they will be very helpful for providing suggestions. So I would say there are plenty of resources available in this program to support you in an all-rounded way. So no worries at all. And in terms of studying, as Ronnie said, the program provides us with great flexibility in course selection, and the curriculum design is really good in helping us discover and develop our interests, as we have many elective courses and the common core courses to select from. So for me, I have taken gender studies, Korean sociology, Chinese architecture, counseling, and this semester I'm also taking Buddhism, which really inspires me to rethink about the philosophy of life. Unlike Ronnie, because I am interested in so many things, so I didn't choose to take a second major or minor in any particular subject just to experience more. So this program is not only about helping us become excellent teaching professionals, but also highly encourages us to discover and delve deeper into our interests. So that's basically what I want to share. Thank you, Suzy.
Thank you very much, both of you. So I'd like to now move over to introducing Miracle, Nicholas, and also Alex from years 4 and 5. So within part of year 3 and also years 4 and 5, we spend quite a lot of time within the BA&BED actually focusing on language teaching and learning and also the professional practicums. So Miracle, can you share with us some of your experiences of the pedagogy courses and your professional practicum in the primary context?
Yes, we have 4 compulsory courses in the BA&BED component focusing on how to teach grammar and vocabulary, as well as reading, writing, speaking, and listening in the primary context. We also learn about how to cater to learner diversity, and our professional practicum is when we will bridge the gap between theory and practice. I'm actually doing my year 4 primary practicum right now, and we get 3 visits from our university tutors. I also have a mentor teacher who is very kind and helps me become familiarized with my placement school. Nicholas, how was your practicum? Your practicum coincided with the COVID outbreak, right?
Thanks, Miracle. Yeah, so my practicum actually was quite challenging, but honestly speaking, I felt like it was a lot of fun to me as well, because no one has ever taught through Zoom previously. So when the school closed down, there was absolutely nothing for me to refer to, and I just had a lot of room to be creative. And I was just thinking, how could I incorporate the pedagogies I learned at university with the education technology that I was exploring? And I'm grateful that when the supervisors looked at my lesson plans, they were all very open-minded. They kept themselves up with the technology, and they gave me really constructive feedback on how I could further my interactions with students. Talking about practicum, I'm actually going for the secondary practicum in February next year. And in fact, I have already worked at that secondary school this summer because they somehow recruited me to help them develop a summer program from scratch. So I'm just going back to somewhere that I'm familiar with, and hopefully I can see my students face to face this time. Right now, I'm doing some courses related to secondary pedagogies. They cover from vocabulary, grammar, sentence structure. So these are the building blocks of the language, to reading, writing, listening, and speaking. These are the skills that we need to teach students in the future when we're in the classroom. And I would say that the teaching methods that I'm learning right now, they are quite different from the way I used it to be taught in my secondary school a few years ago. Specifically, whether you're from a local school or from an international school, I think all of you have undergone the process of drawing mock papers and past papers, especially during senior forms. And as this is my last year in the program, I think I'm qualified enough to say that what I have experienced in my secondary school, or what you guys are currently experiencing right now, I think it is just part of education, or sometimes it may not even be education at all, because there was just one-way teaching. But real education should be two-way. It should be very communicative, dialogic, and experiential as well, which is exactly what the pedagogy courses at university, they are teaching me right now. As Miracle has said, the practicum provides a good opportunity for us to bridge between practice and theory. In the courses at university, we are exposed to different education theories. And I truly believe that there is a place for theory, because it is the theories that make teachers professional. And it is the theories that enable graduates from this program to overcome the many challenges ahead. So Alex, you're my classmate. So how do you feel about the program?
So for me, actually, after the 4 years of study, I found that the BA&BED program has indeed transformed me. So particularly at first, I came to study in this program with all these pre-existing assumptions about, like you said, how a teacher should be, how lessons should be taught. And particularly, I had this burning question about how to teach students with SEN, special educational needs, in a mainstream class. So maybe some of the attendees here, you also have your own questions that you want answered in this program, right? So mainly I wondered if inclusive education was fair, or if separately teaching students and students with SEN is the only way to take care of both their learning needs and all the other students in the class. So, but in studying the BA&BED program, I gradually found my answers, and I formed some new beliefs about how to be a good teacher. So especially in the courses catering for diverse learning needs, understanding teaching and learning, social and philosophical foundations of education, understanding and guiding whole person development, I came to understand how to teach students with SEN in a mainstream class and how to give them individualized intervention and help. So then in my year 4 primary professional teaching practicum, like Miracle is doing now, I actually went to a school with a very high intake of SEN students. So I got my hands-on experience, and I found that I'm actually particularly good at it. So the students in my class, those with or without SEN, they both have a good rapport with me, and I found that I can understand them well with all that I've been equipped in my program. So I understand these students with dyslexia, attention deficit, hyperactivity disorder, and autism spectrum disorder. So I learned to teach my class with compassion, respect, and understanding. So I found that I developed both a passion in and an aptitude for inclusive education. So actually, after my teaching placement, this school hired me as a part-time SEN and English teacher assistant, and I actually feel that it is my calling. So during this program, the BA&BED program at Hong Kong U, it has led me here. It has equipped me with these answers that I found with experience and also learning. And now I would really love if this school would just accept me back to teach after I graduate. So basically, I've decided on teaching at primary school. What about you, Nicholas?
Well, I know some of our classmates, they are more interested in teaching secondary, but personally, I enjoy teaching primary more, and I really loved my primary practicum. But regardless, I think graduates from this program can teach in both primary and secondary context. So I guess I'll wait till the end of the secondary practicum next year before making up my mind, right? So who knows if I would fall in love with secondary as well, right?
Okay, thank you everybody for your sharing. That leaves me at a good point actually to start talking a little bit about opportunities beyond graduation. So most of the students from our double degree program do go into English language teaching in local schools. I would say well over 90%. Upon graduation, our students qualify to enter at the graduated master level, starting with a starting salary of around 34,000. Many of our students continue on to become panel chairs, and some move into school management as well. Other students, the minority, choose to go into other fields. I think our degree program actually prepares students for the civil service, as well as a wide range of other sectors such as human resources, administration, maybe publishing. And some students go on to postgraduate study upon graduation, or some often come back to us to study their masters after 1 or 2 years of teaching. So for prospective applicants for our program, this is a difficult time for you for making important decisions for your JUPAS or non-JUPAS applications. These are some reasons that I've heard over the years of wanting to do our program. I would say that none of these are particularly good reasons. Certainly, we're not really looking for people who just want to come to Hong Kong U or just to do a double degree rather than a single degree. We're looking for people who are genuinely interested in both language and linguistics and also education. So just to give you an idea of what we're looking for within our admissions process, we evaluate prospective candidates holistically. So we're looking for people with academic excellence, for students who have critical minds and are interested in thinking and exploring things through in depth and in detail and have the capacity to do that, that they have strong English language proficiency and also strong interest in language linguistics and maybe literature. And very importantly, that they already have a genuine interest in education, generally and specifically English language teaching. We also are interested in finding out more about you and your interests and experiences beyond school as well. So very much a holistic evaluation. In terms of our admissions process, our first step is to look at your academic qualifications, either DSE, A-levels, IB, and then for people applying through the JUPAS, non-JUPAS system, we are only really interested in people who put us in band A. We also spend time reading your personal statements, which is something that we require you to submit as part of your application. And then we have an interview process, which usually takes place around the end of July, early August. And the interview process is extremely important. We don't admit anybody without being interviewed. And this is an opportunity for us just to find about you in a little bit more detail. We try and make it as non-threatening as possible. And it's more like a conversation between applicants and also two tutors from the faculty. Okay, so that gives you an idea of our program, our students' experiences, our admissions process. Just to finish off with, I think myself and all of the students would like to wish you good luck in your exams next year. And also think carefully about your choices. And as I said earlier, do take some time to have a look at our program website.